What's going on here? I had the wrong headset on, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay. So, greetings everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships with the Hive Hound. And today we're doing something a bit different again, because I kind of enjoyed some of the recent videos, but didn't really enjoy some aspects of it. So I'm going to try something a little different. And, as you can probably tell by the title, being Let's Talk About It, and the thumbnail, they shadow nerfed RNG. Now, I love to talk about things, let's be honest, we all do, especially if it's something that we're passionate about. And well, World of Warships Legends, at least for me, is one of them. Now, how many times have you seen the comments, and how many of you do you actually remember the Iowa when it had rail guns back in the day? You know, when someone made a mistake, they were punished. I mean, you know, how many dev strikes did you used to get? All the time. Loads, right? Players used to be a lot better than what they are now. The game's dying of a death because of these underhanded tactics employed by the evil corporate overlords at Wargaming. We lost so many good people from the community. You know, Let 'em Peak couldn't take all the bugs in the game. Chili Games got bored because it's old and stale. And T-Bull definitely didn't leave because he threw all of his toys out of the pram because he couldn't charge his subscribers to be in his fleet. And, well, the list, it goes on, and on, and on. Now, I'm no shill. Wargaming definitely not innocent here. There are definitely things they could have improved with the game faster. They definitely could have given us fleets. And, you know, we're still technically waiting for fleet battles. I've mentioned them before, but the ENF is a player-led competitive gaming scene. And if you're interested in it, DM me on Discord. I'm not going to bang on about it too much for now. Yeah, Iowa lasers circa 2029. You know, where was I? I even made a video in the past about all the seedy psychological tricks they employ to extract as much money out of you as they can. And to be fair, it isn't a defense, but isn't that every game? Like Diablo 4 just launched a $65 host skin. You know, EA loot boxes, hard packs for FIFA. Not a defense, just is what it is. It's the meta for gaming companies, and I can't see it changing. But anyway, I digress, folks. This is the internet. We can all remove those rose-tinted glasses to our past experience and take a step back in time. So come with me on a little jaunt, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go back 4 years to where it all began, and see if these shadow nerfs to RNG and stuff are all actually true. Right, so we're gonna see if we can seamlessly switch over. We can seamlessly switch over to YouTube, and you can't hear this, but I believe this is one of my first sort of meme-y and montagey videos. Probably a bad example, because it seems to be all torpedoes at the moment. And just me firing off a whole bunch of torpedoes and things. So, microtransactions is completely the norm. They've changed Arena in so many ways now. You lose money to play it, and no more ship XPs and flags. Like the top one before now. It'll just be base XP. Honestly, I think that's really good, because the only way to really get into the top 10%, or top 1%, is to use a load of boosters, and I haven't bothered doing Arena for quite some time now, because basically I don't have enough boosters to really bother. But now it's not about who's got the boosters, about who legitimately has the skill in the ships. So we should see some difference. I was not expecting the Vermont. I wasn't expecting the Vermont, to be honest with you. Like, we literally just had the Ohio, like, this update. And now we're going to get another legendary American battleships. Not that I don't enjoy the occasional American battleship, but, you know. Like, it's a little bit much, I think. You know, what's that, 3? Is that 3? So we've got Montana. We've got Ohio. Now Vermont. He's coming. Like, there's one British legendary battleship. There's... we haven't got a Russian one, I don't think. Am I mistaken? We don't have a... No, I'm pretty sure we don't have a Russian legendary battleship. Like legendary tier could honestly do with a bit more variety in general. Like, let's be real here. Like, it really could. Let's have a look. Obviously, I'm just gonna leave that video play in the background. Just have a look at. Yeah, so we've got like Daring, Alaska, Des Moines, Worcester, Montana, Ohio, Midway. Then for the Japanese, we've just got the Zhao, Shimakaze, Yamato, and Hokuru. Britain has just got the Daring, the Minotaur, and the... what's it called? Oh my god. Conqueror. Only the Kurfürst and the Schlieffen for the Germans. Like, come on, Wargaming. I know American ships sell better. That's fine. Like, give us a little bit of variety, you know? Right, so essentially, the sort of point of that video. Let's have a look. Let's see what else we've done. You know, it was like, yeah, 4 years ago, an 8-kill battle in the Marblehead. We skip through this a bit. I don't want this stream to be 12 hours long. As you can see, like my team all died here. So we've got one guy left in the mid. So I'm pushing over. I'm going to kill this little V170. Like, the fact that in an Omaha I roll 8 kills in a game, the player base is definitely not getting better. I think, I don't know what the point of that was. Right, okay, anyway. So let's have a look. This is the Iowa from 4 years ago. Me lobbing some shots at a York. Absolutely missed. Do you see, like, the spread? Like, is RNG actually getting worse? Or is it... that was the point of this stream, really. Like, is RNG actually any worse than what it was before? Like, did they really shadow nerf it? Or is this just more nonsense? And are the player base actually getting worse at the game? Like... well, gentlemen, what's the current thinking after the waited... right, I'll tell you what. Let me get through this bit first, and then we'll have a little shifty over onto the patch notes. Does seem to be something people want to talk about, so we will go through them. Alaska may as well count as a BB. That is true. Let's put this up on full screen, like yeah, like that, like, and you still get those shots. You still get those ones where an RNG just sort of lines up and just absolutely works in your favour. But like the amount of times, like you can see the dispersion of the shells coming in. Like, that's from a Baltimore. That's not like super tight grouping. You know, I managed to hit him with 3 shells out of 9 from whatever that was it like 14 kilometers? Good morning, Mr. Slisto. How do? No doubt about the quality of the player base, but it definitely feels like it has changed. It has. It has changed massively. I've got a couple of examples lined up already. This is from 4 years ago. I can't remember. I should have really written myself a bunch of little notes on these clips and why I pulled them up. Oh, that was me dying after doing like 68,000. You know what it is? They're not in order. They're not in order at all. My God. Like, look at this. Right, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a cracking example. This is 4 years ago. This is tier 7 gameplay. Right, look up here. Look up here at the mini map. Right, hang on a second. We can expand on this, I think. Come on, Streamlabs. Behave yourself. Look. Everyone, including myself, everyone is playing broadside. Like this is what tier 7 used to look like. You know, people complaining that the player base is bad now. Like, that is how everyone used to play. So, I guess that can kind of lead into the whole, you know, argument that the player base, like RNG was better, because yeah, of course it felt better. Of course it did. Everyone was bloody broadside all the time. What I don't get is why some bureaus are free to start and others you need to pay credits or doubloons to get. In all fairness, there's some simple reasons for that. One is people will pay, so it's more money for wargaming, which, to be honest, it's their business, it's their company, it's absolutely fine. What they choose to do is what they choose to do. You know, none of us can have any control over that. Their answer is they want to keep those particular ships rare, which I can kind of understand a little bit. You know, it would be nice to have some rarity of ships in the game, but every other way they've done that, like the Otago B, for example, like a perfect example. Like, you can only get this out of a crate. I know somebody who spent blew like $1,000 on their credit card trying to get the Otago B and not get it, which I don't agree with. I think that's freaking awful. But at least they're going, right, this ship is rare, but you've got to spend like a massive amount of in-game credits, which is kind of, you could argue, a nod to players who've been around for ages and have got like massive stockpiles of credits saved up. So for them, it's free. If you played the game for ages, it's free. Or if you want it, you've got to buy it, which will hopefully entice less people to go for it. But it's a bit of a weak argument. I'm not going to lie. The easiest argument is, yeah, well, it's money. People will pay. I think the player base has always been varied. I remember the bad days. On Mondays, the blue team were fire. 22 wins out of 25 games. And of course, remember when it was 10 losses in a row. Yeah, it's kind of exactly. But like, this is kind of my point. Like, people look back and they're like, you always hear this. It's like people saying like, oh, like the Iowa had like rail guns, and it's like, nah, man, the Iowa's always been the Iowa. Like, I don't feel like it's changed. Like, our commanders are better, and I genuinely think you do get a bit more accuracy now if you're using one of the new ones. What's that one? Oh, see, I can't even bloody remember what these are. I might have messed up. So I think this is another like prime example, like broadside. broadside, broadside, broadside. And this was 3 years ago. So you can see, like, 4 years ago, everyone broadside. 3 years ago, less broadside. And now, like, almost everyone almost exclusively bow tanks. So that's pretty much the sort of point I was getting to, because we can look back and we can see the differences between how the game was played. And to say the player base is worse, it's not. The player base in general is definitely better than what they were before, I think. I think you could rightly argue that. I literally spent like 5 minutes looking for a handful of old streams, and then just going, yeah, everyone's just sitting broadside. It's just what they did. Nobody knew what they're doing. You know, 4 years in, you've got new players. We'll learn pretty quickly the broadside is bad. RNG hasn't been shadow nerfed. It's exactly the same. You used to get the occasional railgun shot with the Iowa. You still do occasionally get the old railgun shot, but nobody remembers that miss. You know, well, you do for like 10 seconds, right? But you get 500 of them in a month. I don't know, just making up numbers here. But those 4 absolute railgun dev strikes that you got, like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Oh, hell, I made meme videos out of them. A bunch of people did. So what? Be careful. Oh, I'm not on anything. Not showing anything I shouldn't be. Oh, my mouse is broken. I need a new one. Warships. Announcements. Right. Well, the unfortunate thing is I'm not going to have the sound of this. Should we actually just bring up the patch notes? Just bringing up the patch notes makes a little bit more sense. So yeah, basically, I guess my point is when I'm talking, people say they shadow nerfed RNG. They didn't. People saying the player base is worse. I don't think it is. I think in general it's better. Definitely don't see as many people going broadside. People still do, and people still get ended really quickly, but I don't think it's as big of a problem as it is. I think the biggest problem is, like, if you're in a battleship, they only ever fire AP. You know, if they're in a cruiser, they only ever fire HE. And that's niggly little things. People have better builds for ships now, and almost everyone using camo now. Back in the day, it was mostly without camos. Really simpler commanders. Of course, it was easy to sink ships. Yeah, exactly. Like, I randomly took out the Iowa this morning. I recorded them. I was going to do this as a video, and then I was like, well, wait, having some sort of input back would actually be good. I think it would actually be a bit better than me just simply talking over it. So I was like, right, we'll do it as a short live stream, and then keep that live stream up as a bit of a video instead. We need Goliath. What we need is the Thunderer. Like, they're adding 18-inch guns like no one's business. Right, so you got the Amateur with 18.1s at high, or Vermont's coming with 18-inch guns. Give us Thunderer. I think that's fair. I'm sure that'll that'll give the British battleship line some well-needed love. So, right, okay. Or incomparable. Incomparable would be cool. And often, like you hear people say about the Hindenburg all the time. It's like, well, yeah, actually, like, now would probably be a good time to give us the Hindenburg. Um, I've just realised I do actually have somewhere to be. So, really quickly, let's go through the patch notes. So, YouTuber collaboration. To be honest with you, like, this genuinely, like, outright bugged me. Like, not so much me. I know I'm not a massive YouTuber for the World of Warships Legends community. But, like, you've got Spartan back. You've got, like, PG. Who else? In all fairness, I'm struggling to remember who the big were. Big B2. You know, Tommy Boy. We have got plenty of. Alright, granted, they're nowhere near as big as these guys, but we got plenty of big YouTubers that are doing World of Warships Legends content. So why the hell would you collab with a bunch of people that have nothing to do with the game, never played it, never streamed it, never done anything with it? I get it, like maybe advertising new streamers, the game to new people through these streamers. But hell, advertise our streamers a little bit. Advertise the community contributors a bit more than a random page that you may or may not find on the official World of Warships Legends page. We'll find it in a second. Actually, should we find it now? Frequently asked questions. Let's open this in a new tab so we don't lose that. Right. Frequently asked questions. News. Patch notes. Patch notes. Just a bunch of patch notes. There is a page. There is a page for the community contributors. General. How do you play? We'll swap over some questions. Later about the bureau. Right, let's be honest. Commanders, we're not going to be there. Ships and nations. Miscellaneous. Why can't I form divisions more than 3? Follow us on our social medias. Where is it? Does anyone know where the actual page is for the community contributors? It's there somewhere. But like, yeah, you can't find it. So if you want information that's not just off their channels, you want it from the people who actually play the game, you can't find it. But you will promote other YouTubers that have bugger all to do with the game. I understand why I'm a little bit annoyed with that. I genuinely think that's just, I guess, like the cross marketing is great, but like, yeah, like get some of our YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff involved. There is a CC list, but I don't know where you go to find it. It's probably somewhere buried in that news section in those like millions of different tabs that they had on the bottom. Oh, there we go. So apparently it's in news, and it's in blog post 3 or 4. They mention us. So it's like, yeah, you're never gonna find that easily. No? You're not on the first page. Let's be honest. It's very unlikely that you're gonna be found ever. So right, anyway, screw that. We've got my thoughts on that. We know I'm not impressed. Right, okay. So there's a code here, ladies and gentlemen, to get some St. Patrick's Day camouflages. So Lions of the Flandre campaign. So the Admiral Schroeder is going to be the final reward for the campaign. The Creativerse collaboration with YouTubers. 2 new Bureau projects. That's going to be the Vermont and was it Z52? St. Patrick's Day content, 3 arena seasons, and 4 as always. So, what are the rewards? Are there any good rewards? Yes, some doubloons back. Bunch of promotion orders. You're actually getting 4 insignias there. Get any more insignias? 5 insignias, which is nice. They've been a bit tight with the insignias. Yeah, Creativeverse YouTube collab. They're going to tell us more about it at another time. But Courage, I don't know who he is. Nade Shot. Didn't he used to be a COD guy? I've heard of Ludwig. I don't remember why I've heard of Ludwig. I'm not too sure what he's. Snap never heard of. Moist Critical, that guy's a freaking legend, actually. He's the guy that, like, just busts down everyone's, like, arguments and everything, right? I'm sure that's who if that's who I think it is, like, genuinely, the only one of them I would actually watch. Yeah, I know who he is because quality years ago, no idea. Heard of him, but I don't know why. Never heard of. But hey, if it brings new players, it brings new players. Like, I would be happy to see that. Mr. Rambo, you nerd. I was, like I said, I was playing a little bit earlier on, just before I went and done this little stream. And I was sitting there, and I don't pay attention regularly to my notifications. I have them turned off because, like, when you're streaming and stuff, it just interrupts you. I never turn it back on because you don't want messages and stuff popping up whilst you're recording and using that for a YouTube video. But anyway, I'm just like, hate mail. Hate mail? Fuck, what have I done? Looked back through my previous games. I'm like, where is he? Where? Surely I would have recognised Rambo if I'd killed him. And yeah, no, he was just being a nerd. He's just like, yeah, I was just trying to make you giggle. I was like, oh, you dick. Well, you made me giggle, so happy days there. Right, okay, so Bureau projects. So yeah, Z42 in Vermont. They will be available starting the 19th of February. Bit of a special day for me, and the 26th respectively. So the Z52 is coming first, and then we're getting the Vermont on the 26th. This is just going to be the same St. Patrick's Day content. We're going to tell you more about it later. It's like, honestly, like, I looked at these patch notes because I was like, oh, do I do a patch notes video? I wasn't going to bother because they were genuinely kind of boring. We know about the 3 new ships. We knew they were coming. Right, so triple arena season. Okay, nothing new there. Balance changes. They're actually, the British cruiser Cheshire's getting a buff. Main battery shell grouping is increased, so they're going to give it a 2.0 Sigma. Main battery reload is getting a buff. And it's getting the... Oh, right, so Azura Lane Cheshire. It's basically getting the Azura Lane Cheshire stats, which everyone, like, including myself, I went, well, that's a bit messed up, because that's like pay to win. You're paying for a better version of a ship you've already had to pay for. Like, that kind of sucks. But they've adjusted that, so that's quite good. Other than that, that's it. That's it for the patch notes. There's nothing... There's... Oh, we'll tell you more about this. Oh, we're going to tell you more about this. Here's your campaign. In all fairness, I think it's a bit of a weak update. There's not a whole lot to get excited about. I'll be excited to see the Vermont, see the brick in the game, but other than that, I don't know. Pretty much done with the patch notes. It's like just a campaign for a German cruiser. So if anyone's on, you'll literally just message them, email. Well, I know, and next time, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes searching through my games to see where I killed them. Right, so, in all fairness, like, that's pretty much it. This was my idea to kind of stream a video, so it's out there. So, I think we've come to the conclusion that, one, playbase is definitely getting better, because everyone's not sitting broadside like they used to back in the day. RNG is no worse. Just you always remember your highlights, don't you? You don't. You tend not to remember the average. You know, everyone remembers the time that they scored that goal in their football match or rugby, scored that try in their rugby match. Nobody remembers the 10 where they done fuck all. So RNG is definitely not shadow nerfed. People use better builds. People play better. Yeah. They're just, the game's absolutely fine. Unfortunately, wish I had more to complain about, but I really don't. And legendary, completely 100% right. If we look at legendary's thumbnails, look, Moist Critical, he predicted it. Right, it's legendary. Who else is coming? Arnold Schwarzenegger is coming to World of Warships next. And then we're getting Danny DeVito. Alright, so thank you everyone for stopping by. I know this was a bit short, but I do hope you enjoyed it. And, of course, till next time, take care.